Welcome back to Melanin Minds, everybody, where we are highlighting Black women and femmes in the comic book and manga space. I'm your host, Natasha, and over here I have my beautiful co-host.
Hi, I'm Ty. Welcome, welcome. I hope you have hydrated today. I hope you have eaten food today. Now, I'm not saying that just because behind the scenes I was told that I should hydrate and eat food. I'm telling you that because that's something that you should be doing because you're a human and you have a human body and you need that in order to sustain it.
But it also might be slightly because I just got on her about it behind the scenes.
Like I said, I'm gonna eat pho soon, so I'm gonna have some. I'm gonna have some delicious pho, and I'm gonna have a little tea. It's a little hot, so I actually might have cold pho. I don't know if you've ever eaten like cold pho, but it's like very refreshing.
I have not.
It's very refreshing.
Next time I get down there, I will be staying at your place, and
you will be.
Feed me, because every time we talk, you talk about what you're cooking for dinner. And I'm just like, you cook these things when I'm not there.
I know. It's a real tragedy because I'm high key cooking mama over here. It's real cooking mama activities. I actually just really enjoy the feast.
Yes. And so I will enjoy the feast the next time I'm in there.
Which is soon. I'm so excited. Which is so soon. I'm so excited. I've never been. You know when you're like a teenager, like a preteen, and your mom is like, okay, your birthday's coming up, so go ahead and let all your little friends know, send out the invitations, and I'm just like, Mom, guess what? My friends are coming for my birthday. I'm so excited.
We're gonna have all the fun.
We're gonna have so much fun.
But we're gonna get
right into it. No, I was about to do the segue. It's like speaking of fun,
we're gonna have so much fun.
We're gonna have so much fun talking with our new guest for today, of which our lovely host Natasha is going to go ahead and do her signature introduction. Go ahead, tell the people who we bringing in.
The way she started, I thought she was finna get it in. I was like, oh, let me hear this.
Maybe no. Next episode, I got you. Next episode, I got you.
Episode after next, because I think
you're right.
So that one.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. So our guest today is a cartoonist, video editor, a multimedia creator from Paris. Like, that's so interesting to me. I don't. Have we had international? One, but she lived. So, well, no, she grew up over in what was it, Nigeria? No, it wasn't Nigeria. Her dad lives in Nigeria. I can't remember right now. But we've had one. So I love international guests. It's awesome. But still, at 6 years old, they created a character and gave birth to this big old world that is still evolving. They have a BFA in critical and visual studies, which is really cool because once again, people be getting these big degrees in these really cool fields. And here I am, no degree to speak of. So, more power to y'all. I wish. But also programming school for a little bit. So like, this is like, you know how they say like 100 IQ moves type thing? Like that's where we are here, like 100 or 1,000 IQ moves. But I love that they're very passionate about art in various mediums, with editing and translating, working in traditional and digital style work. That means chalks, canvas, alcohol markers, pens. I'd never even heard of Bristol paper before. So I may need a little, insight on that one because I have no idea what that is, but it's probably really cool. Okay. They edit, they illustrate. They've been in publications like The New Yorker, Rootleg Companion to Gender Sexuality in Comic Book Studies. Something else I've never heard of, but it sounds like something I should be reading. Then Time Out Paris. Like we said, they were in Paris, just doing cool things internationally. They also love hands-on projects like creating signs and window displays. And I've seen some of them and they look really awesome because you know how I do. I'll be looking at people's stuff. But, they love doing art and getting their hands dirty for sake of conversation. They've created several comics like Dill, which is about a kid that's dealing with an existential dilemma, which immediately hooked me. Then there's also Dining with Diana, which was created when they were looking for like a confident role model for themselves. Um, and then there's Born to Crash. So all very interesting, all very different, which I absolutely love because sometimes I get so tired of some, certain comic genres that we're not going to talk about.
Right, right.
Please welcome Halen Pickens.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. We're very excited to have you here. So hopefully the introduction was good, but also I would like for you to introduce yourself because it always sounds better in the person's own words, at least to me.
So yeah, my name is Kaylin already. You know this. It's hard to introduce yourself. But yeah, I make comics. I've had my character Dill since I was 6, and I just started like iterating off of Dill and making this whole world of like Dill characters. So there are all these Dills in this world, and they're all in black and white for the most part, except for their world is like full of color. So their world is really colorful, but they're like these monochrome characters. And Dill, he kind of suspects that he's in a comic and he has these existential issues about it, and that his world is different from this like other 3D world that these other weird like 3-dimensional creatures live in. And so he makes all of his comics, and they kind of like, when they break the fourth wall, it's him trying to deal with possibly thinking that he might be a fictional character.
That is existential.
Yeah. Love those kinds of stories where the character realizes that they're a character and they absolutely lose their mind.
Yeah.
Like, how do you now deal with the fact that you don't exist, but you do exist, but someone else picks you up and they could just as easily just stop your story? And, hopefully we don't all go all Superboy Prime on people, because that's not the way. But but I do enjoy those. And that's why Superboy Prime was kind of cool when he first, became a thing. Then he's not cool anymore. But you created that when you were 6. Do you remember when you like first created Dill and like how that felt as a 6-year-old, like creating your own comic universe technically?
It kind of like with anything when you're that age, it just evolves. Because I was watching a lot of cartoons. I watched so many cartoons. And so it's kind of like I would draw a bunch of stuff that I would see on TV and everything. And then the characters sort of evolved from like drawing a bunch of characters, basically. And I was like, started just like, I remember when I was in school, like he used to kind of look a little funny looking, like just because it's like a 6-year-old drawing like this. And so you'd have these like his head was just like shaped kind of like it is now, but like less the lines were a little bit more loose, let's just say. And then I do remember, like, I have a lot of memories of the teachers being saying things like, why do you keep drawing the same character? Can you draw something different? Could you? Yeah, that's what I said. So like as a kid, I remember, I don't think I thought about it that much. Like I wasn't like, oh, I'm drawing this character a lot. And I didn't realize that till it was pointed out. And then I kind of just, whatever, had that goldfish memory that kids have where I just forgot that they said that. And I just kept doing it. So.
It's funny is it reminds me of something that Dr. Mercedes said. And she said, let kids do more character designing because they're not worried about body type and making sure everyone is like overly voluptuous and sexualized or hips and stuff. They just make characters. And however it looks. And the fact that you kept your character mostly like that over the years is also awesome. and that you didn't feel this need to like adapt to societal standards of what like your character should look like we didn't all grow up on cartoons with weird shapes.
Yeah. I think we were also just lucky with the cartoons that we got, because we got like that whole just 90s like Nickelodeon and everything, and just like we had a lot of like fun stuff going on at that time that was sort of different from like Tom and Jerry and things. But that kind of inspired me a lot too, like even just Looney Tunes and things. So
right, we had a whole cat dog and all real monsters. None of those things were shown.
Yeah, they were just so strange. But even I remember Jimmy Neutron was like one of the cartoons too, where I was like, well, you can make any head shape you want. I don't know what this is. So
I don't know what that was.
No one does.
Peak. It was peak. That's what it was. We just have to honor it.
That
is true. Was peak.
Yes.
Widow's Peak.
Widow's Peak indeed.
But so what kept you like going with the Dill character and the Dill universe? Like you obviously care a lot about this character. What kept you like connected?
You know what? I think I just like, so I have this one example when we had to draw this bear when I was like around the age that I would have created this character. And I drew like every single hair on the bear. Like it was just really important that I do that. And to me, it's the same thing that makes you draw the same character over and over. I was just like, oh, I don't know. It makes sense. I'm like, I like doing that. I guess I like seeing like how many situations can I put the character in? Like how much can I keep going with this world? What can I do with it? So like in other parts of my life, like with stuff that I like to do, I might like go from one thing to the next of like, oh, I want to try this and I want to try that. But like as far as with cartoons, I keep coming back to that, just that world and that character. I guess I just built it to the point where it's like, oh, I got to keep expanding it.
And this is why I have so much respect for artists, because the way I would not have the patience to draw every hair on a bear.
You just get locked in.
Yeah, that's the word. Is you just get fully locked in.
I did like 20% and been like, no. Scribble.
Yeah, right. Done. No, I don't think that was like the expectation. I think they were just like, okay, you do the little ears and then whatever, it's over. But I think it's just my brain likes to do that. Instead of like, what is the shape of the bear? It's like, no, we start with every hair one by one, and then we get the bear.
Destined to be an artist from jump.
Absolutely. I think it's interesting that you formed Dill kind of like at that really special time in children's lives when they're like just absorbing a lot of information and they're kind of like learning on the go. Do you find that as you've grown and you've developed Dill alongside yourself, that you kind of use Dill as a way to work through your own problems? Or do you find that Dill is kind of like a mirror of yourself, like things that you've experienced, Dill also kind of experiences?
That's a deep question.
Unintentionally.
Yeah, I got to think about that for a second.
No, you're fine.
You just be doing that. Just out of nowhere. Just be like,
yeah,
all right, philosophical question for you.
But fair enough. I think he kind of does by accident reflect things that I might be going through at that point. I don't do it on purpose, just because I don't really do the kind of comics where I'm trying to represent anything in my life, but it's gonna happen. Like there are things where I look back, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this, or like, oh, because I was like at this point in my life or whatever, then it showed through the character, and it's like totally by accident. But then there's some things where my opinions maybe, like not all of the opinions that the character has are mine at all, but it'll be something like maybe something's on my mind, or I have like you know how you just get a new opinion? Like in your life, you're like, I believe this, you know? And so sometimes it'll be, oh, that'll show up in the comic. Like, oh, I'm in this phase where all of a sudden, you know, I'm thinking about something. And then the humor, though, definitely what I think is funny is going to change. So that'll show up a lot.
Now, working on on a similar story for a long time, I feel like sometimes folks kind of write their characters to fit in their world, or the inverse. They just have this world and their character just kind of plays around in it. What do you think Dill kind of lies in that Dill kind of just exists and the world he moves in his own world, or that the world exists and Dill kind of just plays in it?
I like the idea of the characters like playing in the world, because then it's like Sims, like you let them loose and then you kind of do little things here and there and then see where they go. Yeah, exactly.
What kind of shenanigans will we get into today?
So it's kind of, I'd say it's closer to that, because Dill, all the characters' names start with D. I don't know why. But there's Dill, Delan, like his best friend Delan. And then his best friend Delana is a twin sister, Delana, and things. So then other characters will come in. There's D Jr., there's Delinsky. There's like a bunch of these characters that exist in that world. And some are more developed than others. But it's so character-based that the way the characters interact kind of influences the story. And it sort of influences the world. So as the characters kind of like change and evolve, and the world will change and evolve and grow and things, I'm trying to work more on like logistics of like mapping out the world, who lives where, all that kind of stuff, because of how much is like, oh, the characters are let loose in the world and then I see what they do.
I see. Okay.
You mind if I piggyback off your first question real quick? I don't know if you had anything else.
No. I was giving you the break because I got questions for days.
But I wanted to piggyback off our first question about Dill, like reflecting your life, and actually switch over to Dining with Diana real quick, because I feel like that one actually would have been more of a reflection, since you made it in a time when essentially you created a character you needed because you wanted some more role models. So would you say that more reflects your life than Dill? And
yeah, actually, that's true. Some of the series do. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just saying how that's all.
I was like, wait a minute, you pointed out something. That I just kind of realized that's a good point, because some of the series, like the Dana series for sure, and then Born to Crash is something I did when I was in programming school, and then I had the series called Pwat for when I was in art school, and those are all entirely like time-based, like period of life. And I don't draw the character Dana that you're talking about as much as I used to. Like I used to draw her so much. But then it kind of, I guess, as that was less of an appeal to me of like, oh, this like role model character, then I just started drawing her less and less. It wasn't even I didn't even notice that was happening. I was just like, oh, this is less of something that like I'm looking for in my life, like through a cartoon that I invented. More just like, you know, just getting older, really. I think is what happened. And then but yeah, she was definitely like, when I was like 14 years old and stuff, I was like, oh, I want a big sister that looks like this. So
it's like you grew out of the phase where you needed Dana, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of even representative of how we do in life, where we find people in our space that we need, and then sometimes we grow apart from those people because they were only there for the season. So Dana was there for the season for you when you needed her, but Dill always comes along with you. And it's like the lifetime best friend versus that friend you just needed for a little while.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it. And also, she still exists in his world, so she's still a character that I do like draw stuff from time to time, but it's definitely not as much of a like focus as it was before.
I'd like to touch a little bit more on some of your other artistic endeavors. More interestingly for me is the traditional art, all the different kind of mediums that you play in. What kind of draws you to wanting to work with? I heard chalks, I heard Bristol paper. I'm hearing all these very tactile, like these very involved forms of traditional art. What would you say draws you to those kinds of traditional arts? And if is there a preference between the more tactile traditional art and digital art that I'm guessing that you use for your comics?
So I actually rarely draw digitally. But I do have some drawings that are digital. But
Okay.
that was 2020 because I was like, oh, okay, it's COVID. I should learn a new skill. I'll try drawing digitally because I was very bad at it.
Gotcha.
So I like whenever I can use paper, I do. But for about, I'd say like maybe 2 years, I was kind of practicing, doing a lot of stuff on the iPad. So I did some like drawings there and comics there. But it's definitely not my preference. And now with everything with AI, I was like, I don't need to do that.
Understood.
So I'm like kind of excited to be like, okay, I can go back to drawing on paper. But yeah, I prefer which Bristol paper is like the thick kind of like cardstock paper.
Wow.
I like that. I like those vellum surfaces. They're like the little bumps and stuff. And ink. It's just my favorite. So
Ooh.
I do get the bumps and stuff.
Yeah.
Something. I just want to touch it.
Yeah, it's all textured.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me just.
Exactly.
Soothing. Very soothing.
Thank you. You understand.
Yes. Do you find that when you're doing traditional art, especially because it's your preference, that do you feel like more connected to your work, or is it kind of just like a means to an end of I like art, so I use this medium because it's my preference?
I'd say I feel more connected because to me the material is important. Not like is the material good. It's just like the material existing as a material. So I could be drawing on like dollar store paper. I really don't care. It's just the fact that I can touch it. To me, it makes me feel like I'm like, it's easier for me to get in the comic. Because like I'm in my world a lot. So when I'm making comics, that's useful. So it's like when I can touch the paper, then I really feel like I'm actually in there and it's easier for me to come up with stuff.
Gotcha. I love that.
So you do so many different mediums and you use so much different stuff. Is there like a medium or anything that you haven't done yet that you would actually like to try to get into?
Oh yeah, there's a lot. One of them, the first thing that I think of is pottery, because I did a little bit of pottery like when I was young, but I never kept up with it. So that I'd love to do again because it's just fun. But I've recently picked up paints because I have, like we've all like painted a bit and everything. But I feel like I never appreciated it. Like now at this point, I spent so much time using markers that I was like, I need to learn my colors better and like actually start mixing paints and stuff, not just do like a mixed color. And then, so I'm trying to get more into that.
I never really thought about it like that with the paints. I mean, I know you mix paints and stuff, but like, I'm just like, yeah, that's just because you have to do that. It is what it is. But I never thought I think about the technical aspects of art too often because for me, it's just like, I'm going to color today because it's soothing and I'm not technical about it or anything and that's why I'm not an artist. And that's why y'all are so cool.
But I think that's good though to just do it. Because I mean, art is like, to me, it's just you doing a thing. It's not really about like the technique as much. Like that's great. Like that's cool. That's an add-on. But in the end of the day, it's like, why do we even make stuff? We don't even know why. We feel the need to do it. So that's what art is.
Very, very human of us.
Yeah. It's like, hey, look, I made this. I don't know why. Yeah.
So, I know part of what you want to do, you want to make art more accessible for people. What does that mean to you?
To me, it just means that, like, okay, some of it is that people can touch it, like, literally, is kind of the thing sometimes. Because I think sometimes the way you interpret something can be just touching the thing, which means it might have like textures or things that are involved, and that's just a way to broaden like how people might understand something. And then another part of that is to get people wanting to make stuff as well without having to make anything with it, just it existing on the planet, basically, just like accessible in the sense of, oh, you know, you can just make something. It doesn't even have to be that great or whatever you call great, because that is like a really there, like what we call like good art or something is just really kind of flawed. So when I say accessible, it's also just like the idea of making anything accessible, like just making something yourself.
Gotcha. And that's fair, because I know we all say art is what's the word I'm thinking of? Subjective. And there's a lot of pushback against that in the comic space a lot of time, where people are like, no, you have to have good and quality art. But it's like, what does that mean? Because you say it's quality and good art, I might not think it is. And I've literally run into times where people are like, the art in this is great. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't really like it.
Yeah.
I would like something different. It's like you can never put like, it can't be solid. It can't just be, it will be this way, because people like things different. Too many people like too many different things all the time. And
yeah, like if you want
to, I'll take lower quality art and a good story any day.
That's actually the story, I think, is just really important. Where you can kind of neglect a story. It's there are some comics I've liked where I'm like, this has no substance, but the art is so cool, and so I'll actually read it. Like there was that one, oh, okay, I don't even remember the artist's name, but there was one manga that I read one time, and there wasn't much of a story, and even the story itself didn't really carry that much, but the art was really cool. But those cases are, again, like you said, you know, that's just subjective. Like, I might not mind, but someone else might be like, then why am I reading this?
Right.
That's very true.
Art will bring me to the book sometimes, but if I'm just like, all right, I'm bored, I'm not going to keep reading it. So, like, maybe I'll buy, like, some prints or something so I can have the art, though.
Yeah.
Good art. In fact, who's the artist? Let me go get some stuff from them.
Right. Who's the artist?
Yeah.
I don't have to read this dribble anymore. Like,
but I do remember good stories more. Like, I think good story, and even if the art is not that good, but the story's great, then I really remember it. Because I'm like, what was that like weird looking thing I saw? You know?
It was like
so true.
Yeah.
Oh, are you bouncing it back to me? I'm not doing the communication properly. Oh my gosh. I do have one final question that I think is interesting that I'd like to know. When I mentioned briefly at the top of the session that you had stayed or lived in Paris for some time. Does that have any influence on your art, or are there any perspectives or media that's specifically from France or from Paris that has influenced the art that you do today?
So I moved to the States when I was 22. So most of my life I was reading. My parents are American, but they met in Paris, and that's why me and my brothers grew up there. But that means that basically I was reading Sunday comics from the newspapers that my parents would get, but I would also read like the comics that I liked and things, which are bande dessinée, or like French comic books. And there it's pretty big, like Franco-Belgian comics, etc. Or like most people read them. It's just like a common thing to have like an album or two. And Like in particular, I remember there was this one like witch comic that I really liked. That was fun. I think it was it Minisa or something? I forget the name. But then I had like all the kind of classics. Like everybody read Asterix and things. But the one that really inspired me is like kind of it's silly. But there was Mickey Mag was like the Mickey Mouse magazine. That I don't know if people got this in the States, but it was like a big, thick comic. It was like you know the way you get like Mad Magazine, like it would be like like as if it was like a paperback book, but it was actually like a comic and a bunch of like gags and stuff like that. And I don't know why I loved this. That was like a thing. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make something like this where there's like stuff to do, and there's the comic, like there's activities and there's comics and stuff like that.
Interesting. I don't remember a like a Disney or a Mickey Mouse kind of Mad magazine. I don't think we, at least from my understanding, I don't think we got that. But you know, there's a lot of things I don't know, so you don't know what you don't know. But I'm definitely familiar with the concept. There are a couple of other books that did that here in the States, but that's really cool.
It is really cool.
I mean, there would be other things that would just be like comics that we had just kind of lying around. I would just read a lot of just random stuff. So,
real. Let's see what this is. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I read it. It's all right.
Every so often, I slip a weird random question in when I remember to do it. So, I want to ask you, what is the strangest thing that's ever ended up in your comic?
The strangest like it's so relative because now everything I'm thinking of is like, no, that's normal. That's not strange. I'm trying to think of a detail. This isn't strange, but one of my characters I decided to draw with a mullet. I had this character for like a long time. It was Dill's best friend, right? I've had about as long as I've had Dill. And then one day I was like, you know, he's supposed to have a mullet. Like that's just the way the character is. Like it's part of his personality. So one day to the next, that's kind of what he looks like. But mullets are kind of normal now, I think. So I don't think it's that weird.
Yeah. I think I saw some kid with a mullet the other day.
Yeah.
I don't remember where it was. And then
they are coming back.
Yeah. And one of mine wore one on accident the other day. It was just one of those things where he took the bonnet off and it just was sitting like,
yeah.
I was like, hey, you got a whole mullet right now. Okay, cool, I guess. But so final thing for you for real. If you can get a word of inspiration, and I think for you, I want to say if you could give a word of wisdom or inspiration to that kid that wants to draw and create stories as they're growing up and even continue when they're an adult, what would you tell them?
Don't put it online. Sorry, it's really obnoxious, but it's just like, just take the time to like kind of make stuff, because I'm glad that I didn't have that issue as a kid, but I think kids now, I'm like, it might stress them out to know that other people see it, but it's okay to like, you know, obviously you show the people around you and they might, you know, give you feedback and things, but I think that's very different from showing anyone possible. I think you need time to, you know, make art for yourself and the people that, you know, are around you personally. I think that's important. But show it to people. Yes, definitely.
Show it to people.
Yeah,
that's
yeah, that's different. That's just different because it's like you can, if somebody wants to do that, that's whatever, do whatever you want. I'm just like, if I had to say something, like if I had imagined this person I'm talking to, I'm like,
no, that's very fair, because even as adults, we know that the internet can be brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not very fun. So a lot of the time, it makes it hard. Even on adults who are supposed to have more emotional intelligence, still just be like, I don't want to, I don't want to deal with this. And so imagine children dealing with it. So no, I definitely get that.
Yeah, like as a kid, go to the library, make free photocopies of your comic and give them to your friends. Like I just think you can have a lot of fun that way. Like make sure that you're having fun. Just it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a professional. You don't have to do something that's going to make money. Just enjoy yourself. Like this is the time that you can do whatever you want. You have all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm with it. Okay. So we move on now. And Ty, I think I'm gonna let you go first if you're ready for me.
Yeah, absolutely. We're moving into that lovely section of the show where we talk about our recommendations for comics, manga, sequential art, made by Black women. Now, I am cheating this time. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm letting y'all know I am cheating. This week, I thought it was made by a Black woman, but no, it's just the writing is actually just really good. But it does have a Black female main character. The writing is actually just decent. I hate, sometimes.
Well, it's fair because I almost was gonna cheat as well, but I changed my mind.
Sometimes the writing is good, and I have to give it to Motor Crush by Brendan Fletcher. Volume 1 is issues 1 through 5. It's basically this. It's about biker gangs. And this one biker gang is ran by this Black woman who carries around this beat up baseball bat with nails in it. And it's oddly empowering, a little queer, just cute, feel good, slightly aggressive, badass women kind of fighting each other. I really like it. And, normally I wouldn't suggest it, but I mean, if you're looking for something that's kind of in that same vein, and it prominently features a Black woman, I suggest Motor Crush. It's good stuff.
Yeah. I actually came across that, I do believe, on the library app one day, and I was like, this looks really, really cool, and I'm gonna go ahead and read this. And so, yeah, well, I think there's more than one. I've only read the first one, if there is more than one, so I do need to get back to that. So I'm going to cheat, not cheat. The book that I'm going to suggest is written by a Black woman, but it is owned by, one of our more mainstream companies. But I can never get enough of Far Sector by N.K. Jemisin. I usually go more the indie route on my suggestions, but as someone who's well overdue for a reread and has been thinking about it a lot, I do want to recommend Far Sector, because it is so good. And honestly, Sojourner is the best Green Lantern, hands down, period. I will not argue. Yes, those are our comic book recommendations for the week. Kaylin, if you could tell everyone where they can find you, social media, website, all that stuff, so they can go follow you, they can go read the stories, and just, like you said, have fun.
So you can find me on www.dillcomics.com, which is DILL comics.com, and everything is there. So I put comics there. Also check your local zine fest. I might be there.
Yes. Hi guys, it's Ty. You can find me everywhere at BLAQUE, the letter N, KULTURE. I make content about comics, manga, animation, and fandom, horror media, nostalgic media. If you like any of that, you know where to find me. I'm also on Google. You can just Google me. I will pop up, I promise.
This is very true. These are all facts. I messed up. All right. And hi, I'm your host, Natasha, right here on Melanin Minds, where you should be subscribing and hitting the bell and hyping up this video and all those things YouTube's wants you to do now. I figure there's a new thing every other month that YouTube wants people to do for your videos so that they can be seen. So I guess do all of those things, but especially the subscribing and watching, even if you just put it on a playlist or something, whatever. You can also go check us out on Instagram at Melanin Minds 24, where we post clips, we post recommendations of books by comic books and graphic novels and manga by Black women, and tell you of all the wonderful Black women who work in comics. And then when we come back over here, we have these awesome interviews with awesome creators as well as video essays. You can also check out the Melanin Minds website, which is www.card.melaninminds.co, where you can find a blog section and you can find an entire database of Black women and femmes who work in the comic book and manga industry. And also I write comics, so you can go check that out if you want to. Anyway, thank you for watching, and remember, as I always say, a small spark can become a huge blaze, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.